Hello, everyone. This is Zayami Eccles-Erwin from FilmFestivalCircuit.com and the Assistant Director of the Portland Comedy Film Festival. We're gearing up for our summer 2023 session, which is going to be on May 21st at the Clinton Street Theater. We're very excited for that. And today we're talking to Steve Melone, who is a submitter to that festival. He's the director of a film called Canned. Steve, thank you so much for visiting with me today.
Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. What inspired you to make Canned?
Um, initially the inspiration was just to be silly and to make a comedy. It was initially like a sketch idea, and it kind of unfolded over a few years of changing it into something that's still a comedy, but it has some more kind of talking more about, I guess, sort of like this craftsmanship of this very specific thing kind of dying, and I guess that applies to whatever that might be, for different communities. Some filmmakers can feel that way. Other creative types, maybe other people in different parts of different businesses, maybe. So it kind of touched on something, I think, in terms of that. But the initial inspiration was definitely just to make something funny.
Okay, totally. It's ironic and specific, but has these kind of universal implications.
Yeah, kind of unfolded like that, unexpectedly from what initially it was, I think. So
I'm curious, so it started as a sketch idea and you developed it. How long is the final piece?
it's about just about 30 minutes, just under. So 29 minutes and 58 seconds. Um,
Okay,
but yeah,
dang.
yeah.
I'm curious, what's the process like, just turning, something that is a sketch, a small truncated thing, and then developing into something that's, like a full episode. What was that like?
Yeah. Well, I think the first draft of this was maybe 8 pages, or something like that, and it was mostly just talking heads, and it was just kind of talking about this world. But it over time, I had a writers group that I was a part of. So the big thing about kind of elongating it, excuse me, had to do with just talking to other writers, and kind of getting their ideas too, and kind of bringing a lot of other ideas into the pot, kind of, and mixing it up. So it was definitely a big community of people that I'm lucky to be a part of from college, who we all kind of use each other as sounding boards for our ideas, and this film was no different from its early drafts through the last few drafts. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, and it is a very good concept, very intriguing, kind of hooks you in. I want to know, what did you learn from this process, either in terms of production or writing or anything?
Yeah, the biggest thing I learned was, it's a very ambitious, ambitious short film, and it's 30 minutes, which is pretty long for a short. And I think because it was so long, we were doing it on such a small budget. The big thing that I learned was not to rush in all the time. Like, I kind of had this initial expectation to finish the production within a few weeks, and it was, I think, the summer of 2021, and when we basically started production, or decided to do it. And I think the biggest thing was not being tied to a certain amount of time to get it done by. I mean, everyone wants to get things done as fast and efficiently as possible, but the film was so much better, and the production went so much smoother by kind of taking my foot off the gas pedal for that, and letting it kind of unfold. I mean, it took 5 weekends over a year and a half, about. So I think not slowing things down, but kind of, we did these 5 different weekends scattered, and that actually let us kind of really sharpen up the script, and even let us do kind of small rewrites, and just make things better. And also made the logistics of it a little bit better in terms of telling the story, and little details that I think if we had tried to do it in a really short amount of time, would have suffered. Like the production design. There's things
Totally.
that small things like that were just so much better because we kind of scattered those weekends, and like had to just face the facts that it was going to take a little bit longer because of COVID, because of other logistics. I think location also flooded early on. So yeah, so that was a big thing. Was just kind of like, don't slouch, but take a little more time than maybe you initially want to.
Totally, that's great advice, and I feel like it's very important for independent productions because people they like to go full steam ahead, and they don't like to have that feeling that their project is hanging or could be backburnered for something else, losing
Right.
steam. But sharpening up, taking that time, that's important. You said a location flooded. I don't know if you want to go into that, but do you have any interesting or fun stories from the set? Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, that we weren't on set for when it happened or anything, but that was like before production even began that there was
Okay,
flooding. Um, and when we were initially going to shoot, it was a total of about, I think, 11 days, maybe it was 12 days. It's starting, the time is blurring together. It was 11 or 12 days of shooting, and we did 2 days in August of 2021. We were supposed to do, more in August, and then this location flooded, so we had to push all those days, which was the main location, which is the studio space that was flooded. So
oh my gosh,
yeah. But in terms of other stories, I mean, the biggest thing on set that I could say, it's not really a bad thing. It's a good thing. Um, was just there. We had kind of baked into the schedule time to improvise, and there's a lot of improv. A lot of talented improvisers on the set
cool.
that we really were able to take advantage of. And because we kind of planned for that time, and because again we had staggered the weekends and kind of scheduled it that way, we were able to let people kind of riff and do different things. And we had questions prepared for the talking head interview portions where we gave actresses about seven, somewhere between 5 to 10 questions about 1 or 2 weeks out, and said, just like, get ready to answer those questions. Don't tell me what it is, and we'll. So
Hmm.
that was like, that worked out great doing that. A lot of that made it in. Um, so yeah, that was the biggest thing I think was in terms of the great things on set that made us just everyone laugh were those kind of things where people just had a little more freedom to kind of do things and not be so attached to the script, though it was obviously a huge guiding force. But yeah.
That's fantastic, and I feel like that's often the beauty with these independent things. A lot of voices get to shine out, people wearing different hats, and that's very cool. I'm wondering, so this is now it's on the film festival circuit. It's making the festival run. Are you working on any other projects right now?
I'm really just trying to outline this as a more of an episodic kind of idea or a
Okay.
feature, but I'm leaning more towards episodic, and kind of thinking of this as also potentially like a sort of proof of concept for that,
Okay. Cool.
for the characters and stuff. So that's the big thing I'm kind of focused on right now. Um, I have some other feature ideas that are sort of still populating in my brain a little bit. So that's on the back burner at some point, getting back into writing for that. But definitely thinking about elongating this into a bigger idea.
Excellent. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add about your film?
Go see Canned. It's playing. It's also playing this festival on May 21st, and we're playing CineFest on May 9th in New York City, and then more festivals to come. Not anything about the film specifically I could think of. What else could I say? It was just I can't. The biggest thing I would say is one thing, that other thing that really helped with this film is I was very willing to let other people bring their ideas to the film, not just actors and actresses, but uh, people like even the makeup team and stuff. They would have ideas and they'd whisper it in something like the producer's ear, and the producer would get to me, and I'd be like, say yay or nay to it kind of on set. And that, I think, created a really great atmosphere for collaborating, and it felt like everybody was like part of this film. Like I didn't have a big hierarchical kind of struggle at all.
Right.
It was very free set, and I think that really worked for especially a film that's about laughter. Even though it's kind of a dark comedy documentary, it's still there's still a lot of silliness in there that we got in there, and that's on the cutting room floor. So that was another big part of the film that was just really enjoyable. So shout out to the entire cast and crew of Canned, who were, it was very much a team effort. Like it's one of the ultimate team sports, kind of, I guess you could say. I've heard it said.
I
Um,
like that.
and yeah, I think my friend Joe Reddle said that. He's another director. But anyway, so it's true, and that was very much the case with this film. But yeah, Mike DeJoy, our cinematographer, was great. Anthony Echo, my co-writer, was excellent and helped us tighten things up. And Michael DeJoy, did I say Michael DeJoy, the cinematographer? And Justin Guerrieri, the producer, was really great, and everyone just gave like 1,000,000%. So, um, you know, definitely was a great experience.
Fantastic. Sounds like an ideal production, and you created one hell of a movie. I'm very excited to screen this May 21st, Clinton Street Theater. And thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you. And
Have a good one.
follow us at Canned the Movie on Instagram.
Okay, can the movie on Instagram. There you go.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
thanks.